Greetings, 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 and hello again. Today, again, it's going to be our second video. This is going to be on the 12 mistakes that network marketers make. And today I want to talk about call lists, making your call list. Big thing about your call list, especially we'll say back in my day, when you put together a call list, we can pull out your actual phone book, which a lot of people, you're like, what's a phone book? But yeah, we would pull out the phone book and you could go from A to Z, from your attorneys to Zulu, as far as putting down names and putting together your list. Nowadays, they've got memory joggers and things that you can use to kind of make that actual process a whole lot easier. But something's kind of odd about really with as far as in my uh, past numbers, things that I know of, people really just don't make their actual list like they should. And that is one thing really as your leaders, sit down and have people put together their list, because what will happen is if you go and actually talk to a couple of first people that they know, they get shot down, you can come back and look and say, hey, you still got a lot of people you haven't talked to. So yeah, make your call list. Now, if it's like me, I only knew 20 people then, I pretty much know only like 21 people now. But yeah, actually, you still need to get together that call list, even today. Now, today, as far as what you call this, a big thing about that is don't prejudge people. And that's one of the biggest errors that I see is, as a person getting into network marketing, they're excited, pumped, they're ready to show people the business, but they want to show people the business that they feel need the business, not necessarily everybody on their list. And that's why I say show it to everybody, because you really don't know who needs it. Because really, actually, everybody needs it, but not by what you think. Not by what you think. Don't prejudge anyone. A lot of times you'll hear stories about people that will tell you as far as with the prejudging. Here it is, someone is actually at a convention, a year, 2 years down the line, and they're walking across the stage receiving awards because of what they've done in the business. And here it is, this person he's been somebody that you've known for a while, but you never called him. But again, he's walking across the stage because, of course, you never called him. Uh, I've got a story that's a little somewhat similar to that, but a little off key to that. But years ago, when I actually first got into networking myself, a friend of mine, we had a common friend, and we went to a meeting. He actually joined the business. We'll call him Tony. Tony joined the business about 2 weeks before I did, and again, I came in a little bit later because I had to put the money together. But I joined the business. We both, took off like rockets. Now, it was odd as Tony and I went to church together, so we had a lot of the same, common friends. Now, there were a lot of people, of course, that figured at church and places around that Tony would actually have talked to, because Tony was much more outgoing than I was. So I said, well, he'll talk to them. And I kind of assumed that he would, but my business was going well. I didn't really think much more of it. So the first 6 months was flying. Things were going great. People were joining. Things were moving. And I hit like a solid brick wall. I guess it was around month number 7 in my business. I was actually in Walmart, and it was another friend of ours, again a common friend. His name was actually Bobby. Like I said, ran into Bobby, and I said, well, hey, Bobby, how are things going? He said, well, really not great at that time. First, because he and his wife had actually been going through some issues. She'd been laid off from her job, and things really weren't going well. So I said, well, hey, Bobby, I've got a couple of things. I've been in this business. Actually, in this case, Tony and I got involved with about 6, 7 months ago, and things are going great. Did he ever talk to you about it? He says, no, he never actually even mentioned it to me. So I said, well, I tell you what, you got a couple minutes, and you come by later on today. We set up a time. I went by his house. As we started talking, I said, well, I really just assumed that actually Tony had showed you the business, but I thought you guys were the best of friends. He says, no, really, we've known each other from church, but we really weren't that great of friends. And I'm like, wow, it just kind of blew me away, and it kind of touched home, because uh, Bobby ended up getting in my business right then, turned things around. His wife really was the one that pushed the business once, because she didn't have a job. But she pushed the business. They went, within the next 6 months, put in over 200 people in my downline. So I guess it really goes back to the point of saying call everyone. If you join a business and you're close friends with someone at the time that you join, or a family member, I would really suggest that you sit down with that family member and decide who it is that you're going to call. And you decide, hey, I'm going to call him, or I'm going to talk to this person because I know them a little better. If you decide you're going to call them, call them. Don't put it off, and don't call them. Break it down and call them. And then again, 6 months later, go back over that same call list that you made that I never made. But that same call list, call them again, because you never know what's going to change in their lives. Because a lot of times, as I said, we actually prejudge a person because they've got a Maserati or a BMW in the driveway, thinking that life is going great. But You just really never know what's going on really on the inside. So again, don't prejudge. Call everyone on your list. Follow up and call them again. Again, this is Dwayne calling you from my big chair in my office in Florida. See you at the beach.